Distinction students, civic education with a perfect tutor. So we are still looking at the constitution, but in this video we are going to look at one, history of constitution making process in Zambia. Where did we get our constitution from? Then also we are going to look at the constitution making process itself. So let's start. History of constitution making process in Zambia. We are dealing with history here. When Zambia got its independence on 24th October 1964, it inherited the Northern Rhodesia Self-Government Constitution of 1963. Now, the provisions in that constitution were meant to safeguard the interest of the white settlers, the whites who were ruling us at that time. So, it was supposed to amend or make changes to that constitution so that it can tend to safeguard our interest as blacks now. Therefore, since 1964 to 2016, Zambia has had 5 constitutional review commissions with the view of improving its constitution, trying to bend it towards the interest of the black settlers now. Because that one of 1963, it was meant to safeguard the interest of the white settlers. They are the ones who were ruling us at that time. So, this is the history now. Firstly, we had the Chona Constitutional Review Commission of 1972. This was the first Constitutional Review Commission, and it recommended the establishment of one-party state. This was done by the late President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. It was established in 1972, but it was adopted in 1973. This was the beginning of the Second Republic. What does this mean? According to Kaunda, no one was allowed to form any party. You form another party, you are against the law. It's only the UNIP, Kaunda's party. That was the recommendation of the Chona Constitutional Review Commission. One part, only the UNIP. The second one was the Vunga Constitutional Review Commission of 1991. 1991. Frederick Chiluba here. This was the second Constitutional Review Commission, and it recommended that Zambia should revert to or reintroduce multi-party democracy. This marked the beginning of the Third Republic. Say, no, we can't be having one party. They said we should reintroduce multi-party. People must be free to make parties of their own as long as they are able to run them. So the Mvunga 1991, it was meant to reintroduce multi-party democracy in Zambia. I hope we are together here. So Mvunga, number 2. Number 3, we had the Mwanakatwe Constitutional Review Commission of 1995. Mwanakatwe Constitution Review Commission. This one was the 3rd Constitutional Review Commission, and its main amendment to the Zambian Constitution was the parentage of persons contesting for presidency of Zambia. It stipulated that only persons whose both parents were born in Zambia are eligible or allowed to stand for presidency. Only if your parents were born in Zambia will you be allowed to stand for president. That's how it was here. Now, this disqualified Dr. Kenneth Kaunda because his parents were not born in Zambia. So, definitely Kenneth Kaunda was disqualified from standing as a president here in 1995. 4, we had the Mungomba Constitutional Review Commission 2005. It was the 4th Constitutional Review Commission. Now, unfortunately, its recommendations were not adopted. It was not adopted. The Mungomba Constitutional Review Commission 2005. The last one is the recent one that happened in 2016, the Constitution Amendment Act number 2 of 2016. Remember what I said? There is the 1996 amended Constitution and the 2016 amended Constitution. So actually, this one is the last one as at now. The 2016 amended Constitution is the one we are using. Constitution Amendment Act number 2. So the 2016 amended Constitution was amended under the Constitution Amendment Act number 2 of 2016. That's how we should describe these things as a civic education student. So this Constitutional Review Commission was made up of experts, and some of the recommendations include running mates, dual citizenship, no crossing over of the floor, and the 50 plus 1% for one to win the general election. This is where we got all these things from, to say if you want to win an election, you should get 50 plus 1. Dual citizenship, this is where it was stipulated to say you can have the citizenship of Zambia, or you have another one. You have two. There is no problem. There is no problem according to the Constitution Amendment Act number 2 of 2016. Now, let us talk about the constitution making and adoption process. But in this video, we are only going to focus on the constitution making process. How do we make a constitution of the country? One, the constitution making process. So this is a legally acceptable process which a country uses to make its supreme law of the land, or the constitution. The acceptable process which a country uses to make its supreme law. The process that we use to make the constitution, that's what we call the constitution making what? Process. Now, a constitution can be made through a constituent assembly or a constitutional review commission. There are two ways in which a constitution can be made. Get it clear here. It's either through a constituent assembly or a constitutional review commission. So now, let us describe these two. Constituent assembly. Making a constitution through a constituent assembly. So, a constituent assembly is a body of representatives elected by their respective interest groups to formulate, amend, or adopt a constitution of a country. It's just a body of representatives, a group of people, respected people. You elect them so that they can formulate, amend, or adopt a constitution. You just trust them to say, oh, this one, and that one can make a good constitution for the country. Representatives are drawn from churches, learning institutions, trade unions, the civil society, student bodies, and special interest groups. You get representatives from these branches. Then they make a group or a board. They will sit down, formulate, amend, and adopt a constitution of a country. You just trust them to say, oh, they can make a good constitution. That is making a constitution through a constituent assembly. B, we have making a constitution through a constitutional review commission. A constitutional review commission. So here we have a group of people appointed by the president to collect views from the general public on what should be contained in the constitution. There are two different things here. For the constituent assembly, the representatives are elected by the citizens. But for a constitutional review commission, the group of people, or let me say the representatives, are appointed by the president himself. In Zambia, the executive wing of government initiates the making of the national constitution because the president falls under the executive wing. So, this question may come in an exam. The executive wing of government initiates the making process of the constitution because it's the president who appoints a group of people that collects views from the general public on what should be contained in the constitution. So the Republican president, using the Inquiries Act, appoints a constitutional review commission, which is a group of people, to collect views from citizens through sittings conducted countrywide, where citizens make submissions orally or in writing as groups or individuals. A president will just appoint a group of people, and then these will conduct sittings in all parts of the country. Then citizens will be submitting, oh, what do you think should be contained in the constitution? Oh, no rape. Rape case, those who do rape, those who do defilement must be jailed to 25 years. You submit that as a citizen, they will get. Or you write, no, everyone is innocent until proven guilty by the law. You submit. Then at the end, the Constitutional Review Commission produces a draft constitution using those views that the citizens have submitted. The Constitutional Review Commission, remember this one, the CRC, Constitutional Review Commission, is just a group of people collecting views from citizens. So they will come up with a draft constitution, which will be now accepted as what? As the constitution of the country. This question comes in an exam. Pay attention. The Inquiries Act is a law which gives the president power to appoint a commission of inquiry. The president appoints a commission of inquiry through the Inquiries Act. Remember this one, even as will be in the exam. What have we learned? When Zambia got its independence on 24th October 1964, it inherited the Northern Rhodesia Self-Government Constitution of 1963. So, Zambia was supposed to bend its constitution in order to safeguard the interests of the black people, as the black people, because that one was safeguarding the interests of the white settlers. Constitution making process is a legally acceptable process which a country uses to make its supreme law of the land, or the constitution. That's the constitution making process. Constitution can be made through a constituent assembly or a constitutional review commission. Two things. In the next video, we are going to look at the constitution adoption process. Remember here, when a Constitutional Review Commission collects views from citizens through sittings conducted countrywide, it comes up with what we call a draft constitution. So, for that draft constitution to be accepted as the national constitution, it should undergo a process known as a constitution adoption process. So, this is what we'll look at in the next video. See you.